got a question from a young guy who just got promoted to brown belt, and he can see black belt on the horizon. And he has a question for me. He's curious if it would be bad form, any problem, or bad to ask if he could be co-promoted with another black belt when he gets his promotion. So here's the situation. When he was a kid, he started training with this guy, and he got his first 3 belts, so white, blue, and purple belt with this one coach. And he sent me a list of stuff that this guy did for him, and this guy definitely exceeded the normal training coach situation. The guy was more like a mentor to him. He said like a father to him. And so later on, he moved away, and when he moved away, I believe for school, he's now training with another coach who he said is great. The coach is awesome. But he recently got promoted to brown belt, and so he knows black belt's going to be coming. And so his question to me is, would it be a problem to be co-promoted by these 2 people together? Now, they don't know each other, but would it be a problem to ask? Because he feels like by not allowing this other coach, the original coach, to be sort of in the mix with it, that it's almost disrespectful, that he sort of, he wants to pay homage to him because the guy did so much for him early on. And so he wants to do that, but at the same time, he doesn't want to disrespect his current coach. And so that's kind of his question to me, and wondering if I have any experience with it. So, brother, thank you for the question. And man, I know you asked a question a few years ago, so I'm happy to help you out with another one. I don't think it's going to be as big of a deal as you think. Years ago, we had a guy here that trained with me, a good friend of mine. He moved out of here. He got his white, blue, purple, and brown here, and then he moved away for family reasons. And when he moved away, he moved into Ohio, and he was training at a gym up in Ohio. Well, he was a brown belt when he left, and he was training up there for a couple years, and he was told that he was going to be promoted to black belt for an upcoming black belt ceremony. And so when that happened, I went up there to be a part of it and sort of co-promoted him with him. In fact, the coach that was there, he allowed me to tie the belt around his waist. And so that was kind of a cool thing, because the coach even said, man, like, you trained this guy, you had a huge role in training him, so yeah, you should be a part of this. And so I think that most people understand that, right? Most people understand this. And also, I think a lot of people understand the connection that you build with your coaches in the gym, right? Because for me, like, a lot of times my students will ask, Chewy, do you want to be called coach or professor, or what do you want to be called? I prefer the term coach, because to me, coach brings up fond memories. I remember training with my coaches in wrestling and in football and everything else, and that was like a very hands-on experience. And a lot of those guys were much more like mentors than they were just like some random person teaching me something. Whereas like stuffy college academia, it wasn't like that at all for me. And so for you, I think that if you were to go to your coach currently, the guy you're training with, and say, Coach, this guy's done all this stuff for me. He's like a father to me. I grew up basically became a man under his teaching during that time period, because you teenager into an adulthood. I want this guy to be a part of it. Is it possible for him to come down? Maybe I can introduce you guys, and you can just let him know. And look, I'm not pressing it. You don't have to promote me to black belt anytime soon, but whenever you plan to, could you just let him know, so maybe he could be a part of it, just so I can pay homage to him? I think if you came about it that way, I don't think it would be a problem. I think that the person would probably understand, because I imagine your coach probably had a really fond memory or coaching relationship with his coach. And so it's like, oh yeah, of course, no problem. Let's make that happen. At least that's the way I would do it. And I mean, I even have people in my gym now who don't get promoted by me at all. I've got these 2, one of them's an adult, one of them's a teenager. They started training with a guy down in Tennessee who they're very fond with, and they have a very good relationship with. Now, they train with me, but they get promoted under him. It's fine with me. They still train with me. I still teach them and have a good time with them, and I hope that they learn a lot. All that stuff, it's great. But they get promoted under that guy because that's who they feel very close to, and he does their evaluations and everything else, and that's okay. Again, maybe not everybody shares my ideas on this, but I understand the connection that you build with a coach. And so what I would say with your brother is talk to your coach about it that you're training with now, and see if that's a problem. I don't think it will be to be a co-promotion sort of thing. I don't think it'll be an issue. At least it wouldn't be with me. Maybe it will be. I don't know. As far as the other thing that I was thinking about was affiliations. Just sort of think about this in advance. You definitely want to know whose banner you want to fly under. I mean, I imagine, because you're a competitor, right? So you're going to have to compete under an affiliation when you go. I imagine you probably want to choose the black belt's affiliation that you're training with now, just because since you're training with that guy, like, you're going to be competing under his and with that training with that team. So I would probably choose that affiliation. But as far as involving the other coach and being a part of it, I don't think that'll be that big of an issue. I think you just need to talk to him. So anyway, that's my perspective on it. That's my ideas. Hopefully this is useful to you. And I'll talk to you guys next time.